Are you tired of making 6% gains but 30% losses? Managing our trades is critical. Let's go take a look at how we can do just that. Come on. Okay guys, let's get right into it. This is an alert that I followed yesterday. This is a rapid fire alert. These are one of my favorite alerts, but they are not guaranteed to work, just like any trading system that you use. Let's take a look at what we've got here. This is a rapid fire alert for BP. The buyers paid 26 cents for the September 2041 calls, and they put $15,000 into that. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. This here is the chart for BP. This line here is where that trade came in and where those buyers stepped in and placed that big trade. So we had it dropping throughout the day. This is basically just the first 10 minutes of the day here. We found a bottom and then we climbed a little bit. This green line shows where that trade came in, and this is where we entered the trade. There's a bunch of us in the room that took this trade. Right after the alert came out, though, it started dropping. It did consolidate for a little bit, and if you look at this line here, it was the low here, and it dipped below it, but it did close at that level here. Right here we tagged it, right here we tagged it, right here we tagged it, once again, once again, once again. So this line should be a pretty good line of support, but look what was happening. We had a high point here, we had a lower high, and yet a lower high. So it's looking pretty weak here. So what we want to do is take a look at how we would manage this trade. Look what happens once it breaks that line. This is a call position, and once it breaks that support line here, it was consolidating for a little bit. Once it broke, it did nothing but plummet. So a lot of new traders will be in this. It's a call alert, so they're in it, they're watching it drop, but they're hoping it's going to bounce somewhere. We get to this point here and it bounces, they start getting their hopes up, but then it continues to decline. Managing trades is important. Here's why. Once it broke that support, we never came back towards it. Okay, we had a little bit of a relief here and then a triple top, and we started declining again. We found a bottom here at some point and started climbing again. So if you're in this trade and you're getting your hopes up, hoping it all the way comes back way up here just to get your money back, look what it's doing. It's just going sideways for a little bit, then drops, comes back up. But this is a level of resistance right here. If we go ahead and put a line up in here, look at that, it can't get above that line, and then it continues to drop again. Little bit of a climb at the end of the day with some volume, but if you're in way up here and this is a support line, this is why we say you've got to cut your trades when a support is broken. Once that support is broken, it just does not recover for the rest of the day. And then we can even draw a resistance line here where that's kind of where it bounced over here, but 1, 2, 3 times it tried to get above that and it couldn't. So if you're in a call position, you want to exit when your support line is broken. Anyone still in it at this point is just hoping. This is the actual options contract. Here's what we saw. Okay, this is where we got in. It was about 26 cents. Once it dropped to 15 cents down to 11. So between 11 and 15 the whole day in this area, it was just consolidating. Okay, the whole day it was just consolidating. Then it drops a little bit more towards the end of the day. If you didn't get out of that trade yesterday, look where we are here. We're at 1 cent. The high was 3 cents over here. So it was bouncing between 1 and 3 cents all day today. So the alert from yesterday, the alert from yesterday came in at 25-ish cents. It was in a range here from 25 to about 30. Once it broke that support, look what it did the whole rest of the day. It just consolidated and dropped. And if you were holding overnight, hoping it comes back, hoping, nope, it dropped even further. You guys, you've got to get out of trades when your support line is broken. Okay, there was a lot of flow for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of that. This is the flow that came in for that trade. Look over here, 16 cents, 22, 24, 23 and 22. It's hovering in this area, 25 and 26. There's a lot of flow in that. That's pretty good looking flow. So we followed that. Then look over here though. We started to see some bid side action. 29 cents, bid side action. Okay, so you've got to manage those trades and you want to watch and see what's going on when your support line is broken. Here's 19 cents, 16 cents, 12 cents on the bid. And these are sweeps on the bid. So this is someone urgently saying, you know what, I just need to close this position out. It went from 25 to 19 to 16 to 12. When we see that bid side action, we've got to get out of that trade. And again, let's take a look at the chart. What did we see? We got in way up here in the upper 20s area. Once it dropped, if you're holding on, hoping the whole day, it's just consolidating and burning off that premium. The next day, this is today right here. This is today's action. Consolidating all day long, it's between 1 and 3 cents. Okay, this isn't going to bounce back to 26 cents just like that. We're going to need a big move for that to go up. So once that support line is broken, you've got to get out of your trades. Don't sit in a bad trade hoping for the best. Let's take a look at another chart here. This is Fox A. Fox A was in a little bit of a decline today, a little bit of a pop, some more downside, and then a big pop over here. So what are we looking at with this one? Well, let's take a look. This is what we were looking at when it came in, right? So we have 10/18 expiration, 34. That was the call. It was trading at 33.13 at the time. 12.58 contracts, 37.40 contracts, then 150 contracts, 60 cents and 70 cents. This is the flow that triggered that alert for us. And what alert am I talking about? Let's pull that up. Here we go. We have swift bullish flow for Fox A. There's the three alerts, 60 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents. So this triggered at 11:26. And let's grab that chart one more time. This is what we were looking at here. This green line that I put on the side, that's where the alert triggered. Okay, so this is the chart that we see at the point where the alert triggered. We don't see the rest of it because this is the real-time chart area here. This is what we would have been seeing. Then we see a nice big pop here, and that's where the alert comes out. If you look over here, it was consolidating in this range right here for a little bit. There's a little bit of support and resistance area here where it's just kind of bouncing. And then we declined, it popped right up to that level, and then it popped through. So that's where the alert came out. What happened from there? Well, we were in this trade at about this point here. So we were watching it bounce a little bit. It was getting a little bit weaker. And then it came into this support resistance zone over here. It popped out, but it was having a little bit of trouble making any kind of upward movement. We can see a lower high section coming in here, right? It tries to pop a little bit from a candle here, a candle there, but there's just no momentum to the upside. We reach this support level and we bounce a little bit, but then it just can't make a new higher high. So it's showing a little bit of weakness here. Once it breaks through this level here, what does it do? It continues to drop, right? So we had some consolidation, support resistance zone over here. It entered that area here, and then it just dropped once it broke that support level. So if you're in this trade and you're watching this support level here, once it breaks your support, you've got to get out of these trades. It tries to recover a little bit, and then it just drops off the whole rest of the day. Now the difference on this particular trade is that there is time on it. This one is out to October, so there is time. But I'm more of a day trader, so I want to get in and out of these positions. So if I'm in this position here, just as easily as it could have made this downward move for a 20% loss, which is what the options actually did, I'm looking for that 20% gain. And then even though there's time on it, I'm getting out of that position with a 20 or 30% gain. 30% is about my target for my first level target for options. So if this is going down 20%, even though there's time on it, it's not really what I'm looking for out of a trade. Even though I have time, I'm still looking to get out the same day if I can grab that 30% on it. So what did the flow look like? Well, look here, we've got 65, 60, and 55 on the bid side. So as the price starts dropping on the contract, we start seeing some bid side action come in. Let's take a look at the actual contract for that option. This is what's going on, right? It made a high of 80 cents, then it made a low of 60 cents here, and then it was just kind of bouncing around a little bit. This area here, it's just kind of going sideways. It's not making money, it's not losing money. And then we see that drop off to the end of the day at 55. You see a little bit of volume come in on those contracts where someone was exiting out of that position. So when your support line is broken, right over here, we had some consolidation here that looked like a pretty strong support. It made a nice move. It popped down to that support and started climbing. That's what we like to see, but it couldn't get any momentum to the upside. It was stalling out. If we zoom in here, we have a high point in here, It's a little bit lower here. It's a little bit lower here. It's yet a little bit lower still. So there's just no momentum getting to the upside where we're going to see that breakout to the upside. This is the support level I have drawn. Once it breaks that level, I'm out of the trade, because look what it does after that. It just continues to drop. Now, it's easy to look at a chart and say, hey, that's what you should have done. Of course, looking back in hindsight, it's easy to say that. Well, here's the trade, right? This is a trade I pulled off today. 828, I entered. I was in at 75 cents for this particular trade. I followed the alert. I got in at a little bit of a higher price than the alert, but 828. And to show you that I practice what I preach, 857, I am out of this trade. I got filled at 73 cents, so I took a 2-cent loss. Not a big deal. It's a very small loss. It's a minimal amount, 2 cents per contract. I was out at 857. I could have stayed in. There's time. But again, the way I'm trading, look what happened. This is my support area in here. The support area broke, and then the trade just went to the downside. It tried to recover, and then it just kept dropping off the rest of the day. So for me, even though there was time on these contracts, I'm looking for that quick 20 to 30% gain within the same day. This one ended up being a 20% loss. For me, I didn't take a 20% loss because I cut it way up here. I cut that trade when this support line was broken. So I'm not sitting through hoping. Nope. Oh, hoping. Nope. Oh, hoping. Nope. So once my support line is broken, I'm cutting that. I took a 2-cent loss per contract. That's not going to kill my account. It's not going to hurt me. Any kind of a loss sucks, but guess what? It happens, right? We're traders. We take losing trades. So if you have any questions or comments, there's a few ways you can reach me. Mike at 7startraders.com. Send me an email. Leave a comment below. Follow me on Twitter at 7starmike. There's plenty of ways you can reach me. Leave a comment below. Tell me how you guys are doing with trading as far as cutting your losses. Are you good? Do you make those 6% gains and lock that in, but let your losses run to 40, 50%? Leave a comment below. Let me know how you're doing with that. If you like the content you see here, hit the like button. Let me know you like it, and I can continue putting out some more information. Consider subscribing. I would love to see you guys get some notifications when new videos come out. And on that note, happy trading.